Usually when we talk about a major life change, society has, like, a script ready for you.
Oh, absolutely. There's a whole expected routine.
Right. There's a predetermined way you're expected to act, a built-in support system that just kind of automatically kicks in. People literally show up at your front door with casseroles and sympathetic smiles.
Yeah, the casserole brigade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you step into the world of private family court, and that script, it just vanishes entirely.
Poof, gone.
I mean, you walk out of those heavy wooden courthouse doors, maybe after hours of mediation or just a brutal hearing, you get into your car, and you drive back to a house that is just entirely, suffocatingly quiet.
It's a very specific kind of quiet, isn't it?
It really is. There's no script for that drive. There is no casserole waiting on the porch for the parent who just lost custody or, had their parenting time severely restricted. There was just this profound, ringing isolation.
And usually a legal document sitting on the passenger seat that feels like it just erased who you are.
Yes. And that silence, it takes on a physical weight. You walk into the kitchen, and the sheer absence of noise, like the lack of backpacks dropped on the floor, the missing sound of a TV in the other room, it presses against you.
We're looking at a landscape today that is deeply, deeply misunderstood by almost everyone who hasn't actively lived through it. I mean, it is the absolute definition of a systemic blind spot.
Which is exactly why we're here today. Our mission for this deep dive is to explore a truly remarkable set of resources dedicated to this exact agonizing experience.
And we've got some incredible material to work from.
We really do. We're pulling from the M.O.M project, which stands for Mending Our Mistakes, as well as this deeply comprehensive guidebook and its companion workbook called Motherhood on Hold, A Bridge to Family Reunification.
Oh, that's a powerful title.
Right. And look, our goal here is not to just summarize legal statutes. We're certainly not here to throw complex, unreadable legal jargon at you.
Oh, please no. There's enough of that in the courtroom.
Exactly. Our mission is to take these sources and provide you, the overwhelmed parent, navigating this system with a calm, validating, and actionable blueprint. We want to help you rebuild your life and ultimately rebuild your relationship with your children.
But before we go any further, I think we need to establish some ground rules for the space we're creating right now.
Good idea.
If you're listening to this, maybe sitting in that quiet house we just described, you really need to know that this deep dive is a zero judgment zone.
Zero judgment.
None. This conversation is not about shame. It is not about reliving past mistakes or, analyzing the missteps that may have occurred or debating the specific circumstances that brought you to this exact moment.
Because that doesn't help anyone.
It doesn't. The source material we're working with, it offers a complete reframing of this experience. It's about taking the profound, immovable love you hold for your kids and transforming it into a structured, resilient bridge back to them.
So let's start with, I guess, the invisible ghost in the room. There's this core concept introduced really early in the M.O.M project materials that fundamentally shifts how we need to look at this.
The societal assumption, right?
Yeah, exactly. Society at large tends to look at custody loss or separation as this purely logistical shift. The prevailing attitude is often just, well, the kids are living at a different address now.
Right, like they sleep in a different bed, they take a different bus, big deal.
But the workbook points out that treating this as a mere change of address completely ignores the internal devastation. What you're actually enduring is a staggering, multi-layered identity crisis. The authors call it the loss of witness.
And that phrase, the loss of witness, it names something that most parents feel but just cannot articulate.
Tell me more about that. How do they define it?
Well, when you're a primary caregiver or even just a deeply involved parent living in the same home, your daily life is constantly witnessed by your children, and you are the primary witness to theirs.
You're just there.
Exactly. You are seen making the breakfast, tying the double knot on the sneakers so they don't trip, soothing the fever at 2 a.m. Your identity as a parent is constantly validated by the simple act of being observed in that role.
Right.
So when custody is lost or altered, you aren't just losing time with your kids. You are losing the people who witness your identity. You lose the daily, tangible validation of being seen as the mother or father you know you are.
Wow. You're stripped of the traditional markers of the job. I mean, there's a prompt in the workbook that really brings this to the surface. It states, motherhood is not defined by the walls of a home, but by the love in your heart.
Which is beautiful.
It is beautiful. But when those walls are suddenly empty, when you don't have the bedtime tuck-ins, the chaotic morning rush, or, the homework help at the kitchen table, it creates a massive seismic shift in your foundation.
You start to question everything.
You do. You're standing in that quiet kitchen thinking, well, if I'm not doing the physical things a parent does every single day,
Yeah.
who am I?
It's the whole, if a tree falls in a forest and no one is there to hear it, did it make a sound?
Yes. If I'm a mother, but I have no children to mother today, am I still a mother?
And that identity crisis leads us to the central metaphor of this entire framework. The guidebook visualizes your current situation like this. You are standing on the very edge of what they call the canyon of custody loss.
The canyon.
Yeah, it is a vast, echoing, terrifying chasm. Your children are on the other side, and the space between you just feels entirely uncrossable.
I can literally picture that. It's so daunting.
What the M.O.M project does so effectively is it maps out this canyon.